Good evening, everybody. Welcome. We are so glad that you're here. My name is Rob Touchstone, and I'm the director of Lipscomb's Center for Vocational Discovery, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight. We are calling this night a night of purpose and performance, and you are going to be so blessed and entertained, and I hope you can enjoy some great community and just really settle in and relax and enjoy the show that is here for you. So this is much more than a show or a performance. This is an opportunity for you to discover some things, hopefully about yourself and the world around you and the things that you're studying. And so tonight is a collaborative effort between the Center for Vocational Discovery and the College of Entertainment and the Arts. And it's so exciting to get to do a joint effort like this. And we have also partnered with some amazing entrepreneurs who are going to be sharing with us tonight. I want to go ahead and introduce you to them. They're here in collaboration with the CEA and the CVD. And so let me introduce you first. I want to tell you about Rita Mitchell. Rita is a former bank executive with over 40 years of financial services experience. She retired to pursue her passion for empowering individuals on their path to success. She founded a Black-owned, woman-owned mother-daughter company alongside her daughter, Britt Mitchell, who is also joining us tonight. Britt is a seasoned marketing and sales professional with over 15 years of experience. Britt currently works at a global tech company in New York City and is actively advancing in her career. So together, this mother-daughter dynamic duo, Rita and Britt, travel the country sharing insights on affirmation thinking, vision boarding, and presenting keynotes based on their books, which we have for sale right back there on your way out if you're interested. Own Your Phenomenal Self, a guide on character, success, and leadership. This is a best-selling book on mentoring, available on Amazon as well. And their other book, Spoken Art, Too Brave to Back Down, a book blending Britt's artistry, Rita's poetry, and their affirmations. So tonight's focus is on the power of art to inspire and drive aspirations. So during this special evening, we're going to share personal stories, engage in purposeful activities, and showcase. I'm really excited about the showcasing of some of the CEA's finest talents, some students in dance, fashion, art, theater, and music. So without further ado, let's welcome Rita and Britt Mitchell to the stage.
Thank you, Rob.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a night of purpose. Thank you so much, Rob, for that amazing introduction. We are ecstatic to be here. So, Rob gave a great introduction. We are happy to be here, but it's a night of purpose. So we want to make sure you understand not only the importance of finding your purpose, but holding on to it. And it might not be a straight line. And you may think you already have everything figured out, so we want to share a little bit more about us in a fun way so you can see that the path might not always be straight, but it should be fulfilling and purposeful. So, with that, we'll start with an easy question. Mom, who are you?
I think you just gave it away. I am the mother, even though people think I'm the older sister, and I receive that, all right?
Only at the grocery store. So anyway, I'm the daughter. That's pretty basic. What else are you, Mom?
I'm a retired executive. And that means I know a little bit about corporate success and corporate acumen.
I am not a retired exec, but I'm still climbing the corporate ladder. I live and work in New York City at a tech company.
And where did I retire from? 40 years in financial services, and in those 40 years, I was an insurance salesman, a banker. I had my own insurance and securities brokerage firm. I managed private banking for First Tennessee, retired as executive vice president, and here I am today.
All right, and then I have over 15 years in marketing, branding, and sales, and I graduated with a degree in marketing and international business and a minor in French from the University of Tennessee.
Yay, go Vols.
Yeah, I have to get the go Vols
I can't believe that I didn't say go Vols.
Because she will not stop. We both went to UT, so I have to get that out early. But so I did that, and then I got my international MBA from the University of South Carolina, and I tell you that because my whole career, my whole career has been in marketing and branding, and so this has been like the path, but there's more to me than that. So Mom, let's get to some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about what I'm doing today. So today I'm an author, speaker, and empowerment coach, and kind of wanted to give you the background of what I was doing before. But what's important about tonight that God put in my heart when I was 8 years old that I should be a speaker. And so when I was 8 years old, I won the lead part in the Christmas play. And it was the first time I got to wear my hair down, I had a red dress, I practiced, and I did it, and I didn't mess up, and it was so great. And when I walked off the stage, I'm like, this is what I should be doing. I should do an 8-year-old. I'm great at this. This is great. So, but I had a lot of other things happen in between. So life got in the way. When I was in junior high and high school, I had a horrible experience. I was not popular. People disliked me. I was bullied. I was booed off the stage several times by the entire student body in smaller groups other than that. And so you can imagine when I graduated from high school, the very last thing that I ever wanted to do was be on stage again. But here I am. And so I'm speaking today, and we're going to talk about purpose and passion and holding on to that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that theme going along. So I'm also an author, speaker, and artist. And my story is that, when I was 5 years old, God put into my heart that I love art. So here's the deal. I was at the Turtle Club, and I did a coloring contest at 5, and I won. But everybody won. They just put everyone's picture on the wall. But I felt like, oh man, I'm good at art. But you see, this 15 years in marketing, I didn't pursue art. I didn't major in art. I'm not doing art in New York, but it's always been a passion. But now I'm here today talking about an art book that my mom and I wrote, and it has 20 years of my art. So I have 20 years of art that, is not related to my degree or anything like that, and I have 15 years of experience. So as we've talked to about how do you find your purpose, and what if I didn't get the job I wanted or the part I wanted, it doesn't take away from what was put in your heart all those years ago. So we'll keep going through this.
And today I'm CEO and president of Rita Mitchell LLC. Brittany and I started this company 5 years ago, and we are a Black-owned, women-owned business.
Yeah,
Woo.
And then I love the woos. Okay, and then I am CMO or Chief Marketing Officer of Rita Mitchell LLC. So, all right, so enough about us. This is about you guys, and we want you to begin the evening with stepping into your purpose. And the first and foremost we want to do is acknowledge your skills. We know that you wouldn't be at Lipscomb if you didn't already come with a lot of skills. And so we want to acknowledge and say that that has value. You may have been working on a discipline or a talent or something of that nature your whole life, and you own that. However, for these 2 hours, we want you to slow your roll and be open to what was put into your heart. And that may be different, it may be the same, but we just want you to be open-minded throughout the night. So Mom, you want to talk about the clean slate?
Yeah, and so I want to talk about the clean slate because at this particular time in your life, this is almost one of the most powerful places that you can be. Because even though a lot of you have been doing your performing arts and probably been doing it since you were 4 or 5, you've been doing it for years, this is an opportunity to begin your career and be open-minded to what's in front of you and not necessarily the straight path that you've been in. So we want you to think about this night as cleaning the slate, opening your mind, because it is a lot easier to pivot here than 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road if you are not happy and serving your passion along with your occupation.
So this is a unique opportunity to dream your biggest dream. And Mom and I, we dream big all the time. All we do is sit around and create things. We're here with you tonight, Night of Purpose. 2 days ago, we're speaking to a crowd about corporate success. We're writing a cookbook. We have more ideas than we know what to do with.
There are 2 people to do.
However, never in our wildest dreams did we think that someone would ever write a song about our book. And so at the end of the evening, we will have 2 amazing songwriters come up on stage. We will interview them, and they will sing and debut their song about spoken art. And we're like, that is mind-blowing.
Yes, it is.
And so we want you to think about, how can I blow my own mind? How can I have whatever my biggest dream is? You want to be on Broadway. Maybe you want to create a Broadway film. I don't know, how can you make it bigger than you've ever dreamed it could be? So we have this image up here, and feel free if you want to take pictures throughout the night, especially if you want to take videos of the performers, as you should. But we want this to be a guide for you. So as you make decisions in your life, think about, your skills and talents. Make sure you have joy and passion. And as you decide your career path and the lifestyle choice, always center it around what was put in your heart, your purpose. So we want to keep that in the center. And so when you make decisions, it should bring joy and happiness and should lead you on your path. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
And if whatever you're doing, if it's not making you happy, it's not your purpose. And so regardless of how long you've been doing it, and regardless of the path that you've decided, if you're not happy, if it doesn't give you joy, if you're not passionate about it, it's not what you're supposed to be doing in the long run.
All right, so your role tonight, we have, okay. Okay, I don't know why she really wants to do this. Every practice, I really want to do this.
I just had to do that. So I don't have any talent, but I can direct, right? So I wanted to take advantage of that moment. All right, so here we go.
Great. So your role tonight is a pretty simple one. We have a lot of folks on stage. We're going to do some activities, see the cards and the pins. But your role are three things. One, remove the guardrails off of what you think your life's supposed to be and what you're supposed to do. We want you to, two, anchor yourself in the confidence in yourself. You have value, and you're important, and your thoughts matter. And then lastly, we want you to measure purpose, but again with joy. Like Mom said, if you say, my purpose is to play the violin because I've been doing this since I was 3 years old, but I hate it, then that's not your purpose. Your purpose should bring you joy and fulfillment, and so keep that in mind. So here we go, into the art. So these are three of my sketches that inspire spoken art. So we're going to talk about the origin of the book so that it makes more sense when we get to the performances. All right, so we did not sit around and go, let's write a book about art. We sat around and were like, let's put something on that wall over there because it's got nothing going on. It was a wall art project. And as you know from my earlier slide, I loved art. I thought after the Turtle Club I was going to be a famous artist. So I took a lot of art classes trying to figure this out. And in high school, and I don't know if any of you are artists in here, but in high school, if I took anything away is that there's a right way to do art and there's a wrong way. And so, perspective works like this. Shading works like this. If the light's here, the shadow better be here. We did a whole day on drawing hands and feet, which I hated. I don't know if you've ever drawn a hand, but it's wild. And so I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to draw 3 women, beautiful, black, powerful women, simple lines, simple colors. I want their hair, like you can't hold her hair back. Like it's gonna be outside of the frame. You see, she's like barely got any hands. This girl has no feet. And I was like, I'm not following those rules. And if any of you are in a discipline, I loved to dance, and I quit dance because I couldn't do the splits, and I was told if you weren't flexible, you can't be a dancer. And so all of your disciplines have rules, and they have this is the right note, this is the wrong note. But all of them are gifts from God, and they're passions, and they're beautiful. And so if you want to do something different, maybe not in class, but outside of class, if you want to do something different, you should, because that's a light within you. So anyway, I was like, Mom, I'm going to do these sketches. Can I get them approved?
You did get approval
to go to the wall.
Go on the wall.
Okay.
Go through me.
So
for free.
For free, yes. Like all things. Searching for inspiration is what I was doing. That inspiration became art. And that art inspired Mom's poetry. So we're going to get to her poetry, but first, I told you my version of the origin of spoken art. And it was fun, I hope. But there is a much deeper meaning, and we would be remiss not to share the true, more serious origin of this book. Mom's going to be a bit vulnerable and share that story, but it's why this book is so powerful and important to us. So Mom, if you want to share that.
Yeah, and so before we wrote this book, I made probably the hardest decision of my life, and that was to divorce after 40 years of marriage due to safety and wellness, health and wellness. And when I made that decision, I got in my car and drove to Brittany in New York 14 hours and ended up in her 1-bedroom luxury apartment. So one bedroom is luxurious for one person, it's kind of tight for two. And during that time, and probably the next 2.5 to 3 weeks is when COVID started. And then we were quarantined. And so we actually lived together during quarantine during this process as well. And so if you can imagine how dark that was, it was a very dark period for both of us. And affirmations, the affirmations themselves are what I had to do to anchor myself, to not lose myself in this horrible situation. And so we know for sure what they do and how they can anchor you and change your lives. And so during that process is where this art and this story came from, that process of recovery. And so, Brittany, you want to read the dedication?
So that is, we want to share that story, which we don't usually share, but this is a place of openness and a place of faith. And we just want to be honest, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, that sometimes you're trying to hold on to your purpose or you're trying to hold on to your happiness. And whenever I've been in a dark place, art has been something to lift me up. And so this book is dedicated to anyone searching for inspiration, truth, affirmation, or simply a bright light in the darkness. So with that, those sketches became these 3 paintings.
Yes.
And the real paintings are in New York, but in the back we do have life-size posters so you can look after the show. But Mom, I'd love for you now on a lighter note to tell us, what is your writing process? How did you get to the poetry?
So I'm going to move from the dark back into the light. And so you can see Brittany's sketches before, right? And so she had permission to put it on the wall. When she finished this first picture and showed it to me, because she goes and paints, and then if you're like, I'm done, here it is. I was blown away, and what it made me feel like was when I was 13 or 14. And it made me feel like I did, when the world is my oyster before life got in the way. And so I said, I think I want to write something, because the way that I write, I have to be inspired to write. I can write, but if you tell me to write about a tree, I can do it, it's not going to be that good. But if I'm feeling something about the tree, then I can write. And so this painting actually moved me back to write. And so I got up in the middle of the night and I wrote the first poem. And I told Brittany, I said, you're not gonna believe this. I wrote a poem for your art. And so as she finished, and it was called When I Grow Up, because that's what it resonated to me. So when she finished the second piece, I looked at it and I thought, I think this is me too. I think I'm a beach person, water's my love. And I'm like, I wrote again, and I called it How Will I Live, because it was me living and how do I want to live. And so again, that spoke to me. And then finally, the last painting, it felt so regal, right? It felt like it was a queen. And I thought, well, I feel like this is where I am now. This is my legacy. This is who I am. And so what have I learned, and what am I going to leave behind? And so I named all the paintings, and then I wrote the poetry to the paintings, and that's where it came from.
And this is the flow for the evening. So we will read each poem so you can appreciate the theme. And then after each poem, we'll go into a series of student performances. And then, so we'll start with When I Grow Up, a couple performances, How Will I Live, we'll do a 10-minute intermission, and then we will bring up our songwriters and do a fireside chat, followed by the debut of their song. So this is the evening, and we'd love to take you through it. And again, like I said, the performances are beautiful, and they'll be throughout the night: art, poetry, fashion, dance, theater, and music.
We're so excited.
Let's start
Right,
with part 1, and Mom, will you do the honors?
So let's kick it off. So, it's called When I Grow Up. I will be kind, I will care, and I will surround myself with people who are strong, caring, and kind. I will be brave and courageous, and I will dare myself to live my best life. When I know better, I will do better. When I learn, I will teach. As I rise, I will lift. I will have grace, gratitude, and patience, and I will forgive myself for not being perfect. I will be bold, beautiful, strong, and fearless, and I will have abundance to share and make a difference in the world. I will stay in faith, not be intimidated, find my purpose, and live a phenomenal life.
Beautiful. So let's talk about finding your biggest dreams. What we're gonna do, you may see those cards and pins on the table. We're going to do an activity so we can get the house lights up so everyone can see. Take a pen and a card, and we're going to give you a couple minutes to now, hopefully you're inspired to do this exercise. What we want you to do, we're going to give you 2 minutes to write down your biggest dream, the biggest thing you can think of. And then we're going to take another 2 minutes, and we're going to write down 2 to 3 things that bring you joy. So I'm going to time it, and go ahead and start now. All right, go ahead and switch over to the second activity and write down 2 to 3 things that bring you joy. All right, it looks like everyone's done writing. Okay, how was that? How was the activity?
What did you guys think about it?
Yeah, what did you guys think?
You liked it? Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right. This is a little impromptu. Does anyone want to share their biggest dream or joy?
Anybody bold and brave?
There's a little mic right. Oh, okay. Kat, come up here and we'll get you a microphone. Whoa. Okay, come up here. What is your name?
My name is R. Blackburn.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay.
Biggest dream, I want my whole family to make it in what they want to do. I just want a successful family because it's a lot of us. I want us to make it in whatever we're doing. So.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give a round of applause.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, with that, we will get into the performance. So we'll bring the lights down.
I know.
All right, and then Mom, you're gonna introduce Mary.
I'm gonna introduce our first performer, and it's a dance performance by Mary Humphrey. She's a senior musical theater and dance student, and she's gonna dance to Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer.
And I'll read her connection to purpose. Each student was asked to write how their piece relates to purpose, and this is what Mary had to say. Mary's rendition of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room explores the moments when we feel like we're lacking purpose in our art. All artists experience an ebb and flow in their drive and purpose. Last fall, Mary first choreographed to this song during a time when she was struggling creatively, and discovering this choreography was a turning point in finding her purpose as a choreographer and artist. Give a big round of applause for Mary as she comes to the stage.
Welcome Mary to the stage. All right.
That was incredible. It was a beautiful performance, Mary.
Thank you so much.
All right, as this comes down,
Yeah.
we will go to the next one. Good
Take
time.
a slow breath. Yeah, there you go.
All right, next up is fashion. So we will have a fashion performance by Blossom Omeje, senior fashion design student, and her theme is embracing your unique ideas. Mom, you want to speak to her connection to purpose?
Yes. Blossom's purpose is to make a difference in the fashion industry. She will walk us through her creative process and how you stay true to your purpose as you grow in your passion.
All right, welcome out Blossom, and she's going to bring one of her pieces with her. Woo. All right, Blossom, welcome to the stage. We would love to just kick it off. Could you just tell us about yourself, how you ended up at Lipscomb, and as a fashion student here?
Yeah, so my family and I immigrated to the United States from Nigeria about 14 years ago. So during high school, I was heavily involved in the art program there, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in college. I knew I wanted to go to college, but I didn't know what I wanted to study. And during this time, it was like junior year of my high school, the big college decision was kind of looming in my mind. And I was really struggling, and I asked my parents, what do you think I should do? And they said, well, you should really take out the time to seek God about what your purpose in life is. And so they were like, you need to draw close to Him in order to figure out what that specific niche in the world that He wants you to fill. So I took the time to do that. I later found out that my school offered a fashion class, and I took it because I was intrigued. And during this time, I realized that God was kind of leading me in that direction. I was so amazed that you can draw a shape on a piece of paper, because we were using patterns in this class, and cut it out of fabric, and it would be like a unique shell to your specific measurements. That just blew my mind. And through like revelations and confirmations from people, and also reflections, God was kind of leading me to this path. And I realized even later, as I surveyed my artwork, that from the very beginning, I was paying attention to the drape of the fabrics that I was painting, the patterns of them, even at some point making my own patterns for the subjects I was painting. And so, yeah, that was even my art teacher. God used her and told her, used her to kind of tell me, hey, you can combine art and fashion and create wearable art pieces that inspire people in beauty and awe and wonder. And so, yeah, that's how I got into fashion.
Okay, so we were talking to you. You said when you read the book that you were really inspired and something resonated with you, so I wanted you to share that as well.
Yes. So there was a phrase you said in the book which really inspired me. You said, don't get lost in someone else's sauce. I really appreciate that, especially in the When I Grow Up part where you talked about being bold and fearless and having the abundance to make a difference in the world. I think that's really important and profound, because it does take courage to make a difference in the world. It takes courage to say, why do we do things this way, to ask those questions. It takes courage and strength to swim against the grain and kind of just challenge yourself to look beyond the prevalent notions around you. And so I really appreciated that.
And so I'd love to get into your designs.
Yeah.
And could you talk to us about the evolution of your work? And this was your junior collection. I'd love for you to walk us through it.
Yes, so my junior collection was inspired by kind of juxtaposing the fragility yet strength of flowers. I want to kind of talk about my ideas and how they changed, specifically this jacket. So this jacket was originally going to be very colorful, full of vivid pinks and purples, and kind of displaying blooming orchids. But during this time, I was kind of, as I look back in retrospect, it's like I realized that from the very beginning, I was crippled in my creativity by fear. Kind of like, this is too big, what will people think? And kind of comparing myself to people around me. And that kind of changed what I was doing as I went on. Someone once told me that within one art piece, there's actually 3 art pieces you're looking at. There's what you wanted to create, there's what you created, and there's what you imagined you'd create. So this is what I wanted to create. But as the semester went on and I was influenced by what everyone else was telling me or what I perceived they would think, what I imagined I'd create became simpler and simpler and simpler until this is what I created, which is good. I like it. But
It's more than good. It's gorgeous. My mom might take it home with her.
Yeah.
So we loved it then, knowing what you know now and the changes you made or the sacrifices you made because of the influence around you. Now looking at a little sneak peek into your capstone senior collection, walk us through this.
Yes, so this is going to be my senior capstone collection. It's going to be inspired by just kind of the promises that I feel that God has given me and I can take with me as I embark on this new journey after graduation. I really would like hope to kind of take the rein and be my engine rather than fear with this one. I want to try things, just try it out and at least know that I tried it instead of really letting fear take over. I really want all of you to know, especially in this room full of like creatives, that your ideas are uniquely yours. Like someone might have had it might not be like a novel idea completely. However, it's novel in a way because it's backed by your own experiences and your own unique perspective. And so the way you're gonna execute it is gonna be completely different from how someone else is gonna execute it. So just like embrace those ideas because they're yours for a reason.
All right, and then we're gonna end with the last question. So we just did the exercise of what is your biggest dream. So why don't you share with us your biggest dream today?
Yes, so my biggest dream is to dress women in a way that makes them feel beautiful without compromising their values. I especially am interested in dressing women who will be in the public eye, on TV, so that little girls can see them and kind of know that this is what I should aspire to be, this is what I should aspire to look like, and dress like professional and look good and not have to like do anything that compromises my values. And ultimately, I want to give God the glory through my work. So
I love it. All right. Give a big round of applause for Rob. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's very
Your
special.
work is very beautiful.
And so, with that, we will move on to part 2 of the evening, which is about how will I live. So I will read Mom's second poem. I will put God first in all things. I will find joy, peace, and the blessings in each day. I will control what I can control and let the rest go. I will take care of my family with all of my might, all that I have and all that I am. I will take care of my body because it is the only one that I have and I want it to last. I will be adventurous, try new things, and continue to stretch and grow. I will love others like I want to be loved, and I will love me and know that I am in fact enough. I will have equity in all areas of my life. I will be successful in all things that I put my hand to. And I will shut down the room whenever and wherever because I got it like that. I will not be afraid, but I will be brave. I will laugh, love, and live my life full out.
And
So,
all of that's true.
all of that is true.
Yes. All right.
So with that, let's talk about what does it mean to speak words into power. Mom, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we were talking about affirmations, and we really believe that when you speak words, that words become things. And so affirmations are about speaking your words into power, giving them life, anchors for you, guides for you. And so the exercise that we're going to do is going to be about writing and thinking about the affirmations of what it is that you need to say to yourself about who you are, about who you might want to be, all of those things.
All right, so let's get into the next exercise. Can we get those lights? Take another card and your pen, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to write 2 affirmations. If you've never written an affirmation before, like Mom said, it's easy to start with I am, I can, I will be. And then just let your imagination run with you, and I'll set the timer.
Yeah, and you're talking to yourself. All right.
The sun is in your eyes. The sun is in your eyes. Throw me the cold. Throw me the cold. Cold your smile. Take me by surprise. You take me by surprise. Throw me the ball. Throw me the ball. Touch your lips again. And where you lead me in the right direction. And with your love as my protection, I'll be a world of your projection. And where I go, close to your perfection. In my eyes, see a reflection. See you. I hold you dear. The sun's
Does anyone need more time? It looks like, guys, you have your, you good?
Everybody's good on affirmation? Okay.
Okay, all right. Did you want to get
Yeah,
a
I
brave
do.
soul?
So, I do want a brave soul, maybe a couple brave souls. Okay. You want to come up?
Okay. Lucy C., I am beautiful.
You are.
Yes.
All right.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Anybody else brave soul?
Who else? Anyone?
Anyone else want to be?
Oh, yes, right here, the glass. Mhm.
I will be my true self and wear what makes me feel comfortable, even with others, and ignore others when they tell me not to or tell I think that it's weird.
Love it. Love that one. Okay, do we want to keep it going?
I think we want to keep it going.
All right, so next we have a couple more amazing performances. So next we will have, and we can, take those lights down, a theater performance by Alex D., who is a senior musical theater student. He will be performing Something's Coming from West Side Story, and Mom, you want to talk about his connection to purpose?
Yeah, Alex's connection to purpose. This song tackles the feeling of knowing that your purpose is right around the corner. It is about optimism and feeling ready to take the next step in life.
All right,
Welcome, Alex.
warm welcome for Alex.
could be. Who knows? There's something to any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. They make him cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming its eye bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block, on the beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone will jingle, door will knock. Open the latch, something's coming, don't know when, but it soon catch the moon. One hand to catch, around the corner, we're whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me. Will it yes it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Come on something, come on in, don't be shy, be the guy. Pull up a chair. The air is humming, and something great is coming. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block, on the beach, maybe tonight, maybe tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Incredible. Thank you, Alex. An amazing performance. Our next performance before intermission will be, Mom, you want to introduce?
It will be Meg Wombles, senior musical theater student, and she is going to sing What Baking Can Do from Waitress, the musical.
And her connection to purpose is this. It is a beautiful piece about determination and finding strength and purpose in what you love, despite all of the setbacks and challenges and chaos of life. So, give a big round of applause to Meg as she comes out here.
Make it work, make it easy, make it clever, craft it into pieces, make it sweet, crimp the edges, or make it sour and serve with lemon wedges. Even doubt can be delicious, and it washes off of all the dirty dishes. When it's done, I can smile. It's on someone else's plate for a while. I'll place it on display, and then I'll slice and serve my worries away. I can fix this, I can twist it into sugar, butter, covered pieces. Never mind what's underneath it. I have done before. I'll bake me door to head through. I learned that from you, Mama. It's amazing what baking can do. Make it up,
for Lipscomb.
I know. There you go.
We're gonna do a 10-minute intermission. I think it's, 7:24. Why don't you come back at 7:35, and we'll have a very special interview and performance.
All right. Everybody got it? Okay, good. Thanks.
That was like, this is gonna be awkward in 2 minutes.
I totally forgot. Will you say something about when they...
Yes, they're at the book couch after. And then we
Thank you. There's that.
Announcing your intentions. It's easy, said and done.
Let me get all of it. Yeah, I get you. I got you. Yeah, that's good. No, the rest of you here. Just real quick.
Your soul, touching, understood, unconditionally, true to realize. Is this what you always are? Inside, outside. Children both live life. We emphasize our difference. Peacetime resistance. Fighting battles alone.
It's well, we kind of have a couple minutes, but are most people back? No, we'll give people a couple more minutes. We'll give you a couple more minutes. Just a 2-minute warning. How about that?
Oh, that makes so much sense.
I like the blue. I like the green. I don't like to choose between. I like the two. You see what I mean? I like the blue. And all the colors of sea. I like the blue sky and the sea. I like the blue. I like this tree. I'm crazy. Orange is nice. And so is it. Can't make me choose. From my window, better is no good work for me. I like to be. I like the white light. I like the black night coming soon. Sinking in my bedroom.
All right, let's bring everybody back. Hopefully everybody came back. I'll make a little PSA while we get this together. So on the tables, you'll see a flyer and there's a QR code. It wasn't working, and now, thanks to Rob, it is. So if you could scan it, so we have attendance. So he just wants a count of how many people are here. So.
Yeah, I think we've lost some people, but.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
you guys
okay.
can count, it'd be great.
Thank you. All right. The final section of Night of Purpose, what we've all been waiting for, is part 3, What is my legacy? And Mom, will you take us home?
Yes, I will take us home. So this was the last, if you remember the last painting. You were made unique and are phenomenal creations, so reach for the extraordinary. It is possible. Find what makes you happy and gives you joy, and then live your life with purpose, passion, and fun. Always keep the golden rule. It is the true guide in living your best life and becoming your best self. It is better to give than to receive. Work to have abundance so you can give freely and help those in need. Surround yourself with true family and true friends. They are both those who accept you, support you, love you, and fight for your happiness, success, and your survival. Life's armor: faith, patience, charity, humility, hard work, honesty, integrity, kindness, forgiveness, truth, grace, wisdom, gratitude, and hope. Don't be afraid, be fearless. Your steps are numbered. Have faith and believe. Salvation is your greatest gift. Don't throw it away.
And we'll zoom in on that last one.
All right, so we want everybody looking at that. Salvation is your greatest gift. Don't throw it away. It'll come back here in just a second.
Okay, so now this is about stepping into your purpose. We're having a conversation and special performance with songwriters Ronnie Bates and Jolie Wing. And we will kick it off with, could you just tell us each about yourself, where you're from, how you ended up at Lipscomb?
I'm Ronnie. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I had wanted to be in music for a while, so I just thought that Nashville would be the best place to go. But I went toward Belmont and Lipscomb, but I really loved Lipscomb because of the professors here and the community, and yeah.
I'm Jolie. I'm from Midland, Michigan, and I've been doing music for a long time. My dad's a musician. I've been in the classical and the jazz world a lot, and I would perform on my own. Commercial was my favorite, and so I wanted to look in Nashville, and I toured a bunch of schools too, and Lipscomb was my favorite because of the professors I met.
So why don't you guys talk a little bit about the chemistry between the two of you, because you are writing together, they're performing together immediately when they get through. They've got a gig, and so how do you do that with each other? You just met. I mean, not just, but when you first came on campus. So how did that come to be?
Yeah, so I DM'd Jolie on Instagram because we were both incoming Lipscomb students and I wanted a roommate. And so, yeah, I just DM'd her, knew that she was a commercial music student.
Amazing.
And we became roommates, and kind of through that, within the first week of us being roommates, we just started writing together because we both knew that we love songwriting. We had heard some of each other's songs before. And so, yeah, we just started writing together the first week, and we've grown together as writers. And yeah.
We both have such an emotional, lyrical approach to writing too, so that was a pretty easy connection to find because I feel like we just hold the same values there, and we just bounce ideas off of each other, and I'm really inspired by your work, and so I look at that and I start creating new things off of what you've already done, and you look at mine, and it's just a really cool connection.
And you guys already have a band. We met your manager. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got like
We met
social
her
media
business
people. They've got
manager.
like,
This
I'm
is
like,
crazy.
will you hire me? Like what, how are you pulling together a team? Like for people in the audience who might want to do the same, like how does that work?
It feels a lot more simple than like how you put it, just because we're in college and like there's a lot of people who want opportunities also, and everyone's learning together. And so like our manager, she's like one of our best friends that's also a music industry major, and it just so happens that she like that's a passion of hers, is to manage artists and to be involved in the business side of things, and that's something that we need. And so we kind of all just bounce off of each other and help each other learn.
Our band we were writing first semester freshman year, and we did some gigs, just the two of us, and then it gets to the point where your songs feel bigger than you, and so we were hearing things that we couldn't create, and so we just asked some of our friends to play with us, and we were just planning on it being one show. It was in January this year, and then we've just continued playing with them, and now we're Johnny, and we're working on an album right now, and so we were just doing stuff with our friends, and it's been really cool.
Incredible. Wait, I'm going to throw in, because you mentioned your manager, so we met with them, they're like, yeah, we have some gigs in Chicago. I was like, wait, what? Because the manager is from Chicago, and so your ability to network is phenomenal. Mom, you're going to ask them another question.
So I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted you to share about how your perspective has changed when you guys first got here. You were talking about how you thought you're so competitive, Ronnie, and it was like, I have to be at number one, now I got to be the best, and you know, the best song, the best this. And so why don't you share what's happened and how you guys perceive that now, and share that with the freshmen so they get that perspective.
Yeah, I definitely am a naturally competitive person, and so going to school of music, and it was definitely a learning experience to be around people who were really, really talented, and I think like just the first semester it was really difficult for me to kind of look past just this like competitiveness within me, and so, but I've learned to see people's gifts and talents as very unique from each other, and like the way that our band works and the way that I've learned to write with Jolie, it's so much more about collaboration and everyone's gifts and working together, and like the beauty in that, and yeah.
I came into it with more of a fear-based approach that what I had wasn't going to be good enough or wasn't going to be unique enough, and because so much of what I do is lyric driven, and I'm really intentional with that side of it, and I was nervous about my playing skills not being good enough. And I remember my friend Avery, he was one of the first music students I became friends with, and I was so scared to show him my songs because he is just an incredible drummer. He does some pretty freaky metal stuff, and it's very different from what I do. And we showed him a song and he cried, and it just completely flipped my perspective to the people are not coming at you wanting to hate what you do. They want to hear your ideas, and they don't know your ideas. I know my ideas, and so I look at them so long that I start to hate it. I start to see why people could dislike it, and people will dislike it. But if I don't even give them the chance to hear it, like, what's the point in that?
Yeah. And then you had also said where music came from. You know, you remember the quote. So I thought that was really powerful. You want to share that?
Yeah, I talked a lot about the quote, all art is stolen, or there's no original art. Just everybody that you meet and you get to see and visualize the ideas that they're having, is you're going to pull what you like from that and what you think is good, and you're going to use it in what you do later on, and it just keeps bettering everything you do, and that's where
I love that.
Yeah.
And so good to know that you always make people cry with your songs.
For sure.
Because when we heard the song, they wrote a song about our book, which will happen at the end. But when we heard it, you know, I knew Mom was going to cry. I almost started crying, and I was like, what's happening? So this is like, maybe this is like your calling card. It's like songs to make you cry. I don't know. But
that means you're pulling
in a good
on the
way. In a good way.
heartstrings.
But I did want to talk about, because the song is called Don't Throw Away, which, as you remember, is the last line of the last poem that Mom read. And so how did you guys come up with that? Like, why did you choose that? Like, talk a little bit about that.
I mean, we had read the poem, and we didn't really take any of the direct lines from the poem into the song except this one. Really, we just thought it was a good refrain. And as the last line of the whole book, it's a very powerful line that I think we wanted to have repeated throughout the song.
And it just kind of goes along with what we were just talking about, like that you are bringing something valuable to the table that other people are not bringing. And the people around you are also bringing things that you can learn from, and like give people the chance to hear that and be open to hearing what they have.
And so before we turn it over for you guys to perform, I want to know, what is your biggest dream today? So share with us what that is right now.
I love to write, so if I can just write music for a living, I'll be content.
I just want music to be my only job, whatever capacity that ends up being. I'll do whatever comes, but I want that to be my thing.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for sharing all of your information.
A wonderful interview. Very interesting. I think you guys should all get to know Ronnie and Jolie, and definitely go to their gigs. With that, we'll have you go to the stage and
take over.
And we will put up the lyrics on the screen so you can see them and follow along.
When I'm old and weary, will I remember this? Will I look back on it fondly? Seeking out the beauty in every silhouette. Take it and carry it in me. Don't throw away. Don't throw away.
taking a hold of my purpose. Earthly divination, putting my hand to this. Learning to shed my shallowness. Don't throw away. Don't throw away. Don't throw away. Don't throw away.
Give them a round of applause.
Yes, yeah, it's so
Incredible.
beautiful.
You gonna ask them where they're going next?
Yeah, where are y'all going next? Tell the people.
We're going to the Cobra. It's a rock and roll show.
If you want to be there, the tickets are like $10 at the door.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Our full band is there. It's gonna be a blast.
And so they've got to run because they're
This is
working
real.
girls, man. They got to get out and go get it.
Give them
Thank
another
you
round
so
of
much.
applause.
And I had to really
Beautiful.
hold back not to cry again. I just want you to
Beautiful.
know. Just want you to know.
Okay, so
All
we're
right.
gonna round out the night. We'll leave you with a couple things. We'll save time for some Q&A in case you guys have some, but what we want you to take away is we want you to dare to fail gloriously. We want you to go for your biggest dreams and affirm yourself.
Disruption can sometimes put you on the correct path. So there you go.
Stay open-minded to your purpose because a different path may get you there. Like, you know, mom didn't necessarily choose her path and I didn't necessarily choose our, and yet here we are following our purpose and our dreams.
And even if you have to pivot, never lose your joy, passion, and purpose, and to continue to learn and grow.
And
So,
last but definitely not least, don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away. So that ends
Thank you.
the performance
so
part
much.
of the night, and give everybody a big round of applause. So much talent in the
We'll
room.
save some time for Q&A. We are on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at the new Brit. Mom is at Rita P. Mitchell. We will be selling and signing books at the end of the night, and when we walk over there, Rob's gonna close us out. But we want to take a moment. We can bring the lights up now. But anyone have a question or a comment or anything they want to share? Now is your time.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about when you were doing any of the work, writing affirmations, or your biggest, any questions at all, or questions for us about what we do,
Or questions about the performers or the performances or anything like that. Anything you guys want to ask? Oh, yes.
So I was really moved by your affirmation to keep going for your biggest dream, even though it may not be the most realistic dream. It's still your biggest dream, and I'm just wondering, like, what did you guys do when you were feeling super low? That you were like you were having like kind of this like imposter syndrome or something like that. You were like, maybe I can't do this, or maybe I'm not meant to do this.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, when I was feeling low, affirmations always help. But I got to a place, I was living in a place where I was in a city I didn't want to live in. I didn't really have friends. I was really low. Like I actually felt like I don't even know how to do art. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. And so I was like, what is one thing? What is something simple that I can do? I started writing like maybe if I write it down and read it out loud, I'll believe it. So I said, I am truly an artist and I can paint anything. I did a lot of affirmations, but I wrote it down. I made a little scrapbook. I put it on my mirror in the bathroom and I said it every day. And then I was like, maybe I can do a stencil. I can do a stencil of a singer that inspires me. And then I did one, then I did another. And then I kind of pulled myself out of my own funk into happiness. I don't know, Mom, if you want to.
Yeah, and I was glad you brought it up because when Britt was there, I didn't know she was doing all that. I mean, I knew she was miserable, but I didn't know she was doing affirmations. So when I was there and I went to her bathroom, there was and we call it affirmation station now. So she had 15 affirmations. And so that's just one affirmation. And when I couldn't believe what she had written and they were so powerful. And as she said those every day, they were in her bathroom mirror, then your brain is listening to you, right? That's what an affirmation does. So it believes you. If you believe it, your brain will believe it. And so she got more powerful as that experience happened to her. And of course, I told you, I shared my story when I made the decision to leave and divorce and all of that drama. I wrote those, and then I said and they're in the book. Yeah. So our affirmations are both in the books,
are in the book.
But I said them every day. And then I got stronger and stronger, and I still do affirmations.
We do affirmations with each other. We try to do it every morning, but we have about 10 or so that we do with each other. So it's not only when you're in a bad place, but just to get you where you want to be.
Yeah, because we have things we're doing together. So we have affirmations, and so they're just powerful. So whatever you feel, whatever you think is impossible, it's not. And so writing it down and saying it out loud is first step to that journey. And as you do it, you'll feel stronger, you feel more powerful. Who else has a question?
Anything else?
That was a good question.
Questions, comments? All right.
Okay.
With that, Rob, you want to close it out? We will go set up back there, and I'll hand you the mic.
Wait a minute, that mic?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say a big thank you to each of you for being here tonight. I want to say a huge thank you to Rita and to Brittany and all of our student performers. Would you help me say thank you to them one more time? Well done. What a great night together. I also want to say as we close a big thank you to the College of Entertainment and the Arts and Dean Mike Fernandez. Can you give him a huge round of applause for agreeing to partner with us? Thank you, Mike. And I know there are a lot of places you can be, and you chose to be here tonight, so we're really grateful that you chose to be here and to just discover a little bit more about what it can be like to live your life with purpose and on purpose. And we have a Center for Vocational Discovery here that is all about helping you discover purpose and meaning. And if we can ever help you in any way as you go about your time here at Lipscomb, please don't hesitate to stop by. You can drop by the Center for Vocational Discovery in the Crispin building. You can be in touch with me or with Earl Lavender or Dr. Hope Nordstrom, who's here, or Brent Rowe Hall. We will all love to get you connected to discovering more about purpose in your own journey. So don't hesitate to come by and let us work with you. We're also providing one-on-one strengths coaching. I know a lot of you have taken your Clifton Strengths Assessment, and we'd love to sit down with you and help you to discover what those are and then to apply those more fully in your life. So again, thank you guys for being here. I hope you'll stop by and on your way out, say hello to the Mitchells again on your way out. Be sure and take a look at their work. Consider buying one of their books and tell them how much you enjoyed this evening together. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.